forum, and it is a circle member as well. Okay, so I love the IPD forum and have developed it in a wonderful way, both actively and inactively, through the help and advice of all the wonderful people on here and of course the Psychic Circle. I do, however, live very rurally, far away from workshops, circles, etc., and like most people, I like to be able to socialise with other like-minded people and to share experiences. I recently started a workshop for development and was horrified by some of the rot the teacher was coming out with. I love the company of the women and find gentle ways to offer alternatives, as there seems to be so much superstitious rot which comes out with this teacher, and it is this teacher's way or no way at all, practically spiritual bullying. I won't go into details, but I firmly believe we can have many teachers in this journey, and we take what is relevant for our own life lessons and leave the rest behind, and that we are responsible for our own development at the end of the day. My question is, if someone is meant to develop psychically and spiritually, will that person be guided to learn the lessons needed either through guides, angels or higher self, and to ignore the superstitious rubbish and inflexibility that may come their way, or will this type of expert cause permanent damage? Okay, this is a really interesting question. Now, I think what you're actually looking at here is a very responsible way of looking at your own sense of your development. It sounds to me that you're extremely developed already, and if anything, you should perhaps be having a look to maybe form your own circle locally, so that you can feel, so that others can kind of develop in a supportive environment. Maybe some of you know, you could certainly, in the courses that I teach, I absolutely actively develop, or rather encourage people to form satellite groups, which is obviously online, because then you can connect with people from all over the world rather than just locally, and certainly the forum and the circle are there for that. Chat space, etc., is there very much for your own support, and to use that, to utilise that as a way of making these connections. But in a local sense, I would say exactly what you're saying here, which is, yes, you are responsible for your own development at the end of the day, and that, yes, absolutely, that you have many teachers in this journey, and you take what is relevant for your own life lessons. Absolutely, I would absolutely agree with that. Now, the interesting thing is about this, what you're saying is the superstitious rot the teacher was coming out with. I have to say that yes, there is a lot of this which is really quite common, and it is a case, and often part of your own development, which is to go and experience a lot of different things to be able to pick out what you feel feels right to you, and what you feel makes sense to you on your level of connection. I always say to people, I say, you know, what I say is not the way, it is a way. And what you do within what I say is you pick and choose. You pick out what makes sense to you, what resonates with you, and you put to one side all else. So what this experience, for instance, with this particular group that you're talking about will have given you is, it would have given you that knowledge that you know deep within yourself what resonates with you and what doesn't. So you're able to sort out in your mind the wheat from the chaff. So what happens with that is you will find yourself, and I've been in many a situation myself in my early parts of my development. I've been into development groups, and I thought, oh, this is not really my kind of thing, and I've certainly learned what not to do. And I would, your question actually reminds me of that, which is, you're finding through, for instance, within this group that you've been involved with, it's not a waste of time. What you found is what not to do. Because I would say, and it feels to me in really quite a strong way, I'm not just saying it to you as part of this question. It does really feel like it. I think you will find yourself helping others to experience their own path in the future. So what you're learning from this present environment is to really fine-tune within yourself what resonates with you and what doesn't. Okay, so I don't think it's been a waste of time. I think it's actually been something that's just really affirmed what's important. But for those of you who are in a different situation, in terms of you're perhaps in a group and it doesn't feel right, you go to a development circle and you're experiencing something similar, and it makes you feel very unsettled, makes you feel very uncomfortable deep inside, then absolutely move away from it and keep going. Don't give up, keep going until you find the right group for you. Okay, but I would very much encourage you as members to really use chat space, talk to each other. I certainly know that some members who've been members for a very long time have really been helped through some really difficult stages in their life. Certainly one lady that I do know of found the support of the circle invaluable when she lost her dad, who she was really quite close to, and the support that she received through that time in her life, she finds even now when she talks about it as a very emotional experience of really feeling that she had some really good friends, even though she'd never met them physically, but they mean an awful lot to her. So exactly, don't pigeon yourself into just one way of receiving those connections. Allow yourself to experience them on many different levels. Okay, so this is the next question. This is from Petra. Hi Heidi, hope you're enjoying the summer. In one of your tutorials you said that for many people